News tonight is going to be historic on KUAM TV8 because at 7 p.m. we will be premiering The Interview with my buddy Nestor Licanto. It's a 1-hour special featuring Nestor's one-of-a-kind in-depth interviews with the gubernatorial teams of both Lou Leon Guerrero, Josh Tenorio, and Felix Camacho and Tony Atta. Nestor is joining me now in studio to talk about what the experience was, and I guess, Nestor, what more importantly people can expect to that. So, I mean, what an honor to be able to have FaceTime with both camps in such such busy times for them both.
I thought we were here to talk about football.
Yeah, well, we can definitely do that too.
No, they were good enough. Both camps were good enough to
You're wearing your Raiders colors, by the way.
to give me an up. The Lakers are in Vegas now. So they were good enough to give me interviews with both camps. I interviewed both Governor Leon Guerrero, former Governor Camacho, as well as their running mates, Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio and Senator Tony Atta. And yeah, what we tried to do was ask them questions that we think the people would have the greatest interest in, such as drugs and crime, cost of living, the economy, homeless and housing situation. So those questions we asked of both camps, just so that they can convey what their plan is, what they would strategize to get over those sorts of issues. And then we also had a couple of questions that were specific to them.
Mm-hmm. Now, of course, with interviews of this nature, and you know better than any of us here at KUAM, I mean, they're talking to the community through you, and obviously they're selling themselves as worthy political candidates and everything. But did you get a sense that they were really opening up and they were speaking from the heart, and the sense of candor that they had? Or
yeah, absolutely. Of course, this was their opportunity. Unfortunately, we've not had very many debates where they're face to face, and this wasn't a face to face thing either. It was separate interviews with both Governor Camacho, former Governor Camacho, and Governor Leon Guerrero. But it was their opportunity to kind of spell out what they planned, how they would respond to these specific issues. Like I said, was what we thought would be the most important things that are at the top of the minds of the voting public.
Yeah, in lieu of us actually having a debate, which unfortunately we won't, as you just mentioned, everything is probably the next best thing. And I've seen the rough cut. It's stirring video. I mean, you cannot look away, hearing these candidates talk, whether you're pro or con and everything, just to be able to hear them kind of break down. But did you find that any one camp was more comfortable, more confident, more assured in the information they were presenting than the other one?
No, they're both seasoned veterans, politicians. Both have been governors, so they're used to being asked questions and answering questions. So it was great. I mean, they were both very professional, very cordial, and I think the public will get to learn a lot more about their campaigns and how they plan to resolve all the issues that are confronting us. But like I said, we did have just a couple of questions for each of them that were specific to them, and we have this clip to show you, kind of a preview of tonight. All right, Governor, of course, your first term has been dominated by this unprecedented pandemic, global. How would you grade how you've handled it and why?
I think I handled it very well. In the beginning, of course, no one knew exactly what this virus was about. Science wasn't, I think, prepared to deal with it. But Nestor, when I heard about it, of course, my whole experience in nursing and healthcare gave me a lot of confidence. And I knew that if we didn't act urgently and aggressively, that we would stand to be in a worse situation. And so in any kind of infectious diseases, the main concern is to minimize exposure and minimize transmission. And that's exactly what we did with quarantining, asking people to stay home, closing off non-essential government businesses, masking, watching your distance, hand washing, all of that very basic public health preventive measures. And as a result of that, once vaccinations came in, I was much more relieved and less stressed because I knew that then vaccination would be the main safeguard for our island community. It was hard decisions to make. I knew I got a lot of criticisms about my strategic approach and very logical and methodical approach, but it was basically driven by science and data.
Governor, it's been 12 years since you last were in political office, a two-term governor. Mm-hmm. Why are you running?
I felt a calling. I felt that things have gotten quite desperate on the island, and I'm concerned about the generation that follows, my children, my grandchildren, and the direction that we have been heading. So I felt that I'm not going to sit on the sidelines anymore. I'm not going to just sit this one out. I felt that it was time to answer a call. Of course, it's something that I really had to pray on and bring to the family and discuss it with those. And then I had to make a decision that I didn't want to go on with my life thinking that I had the opportunity to make a difference. I had an opportunity to step up and offer myself in the area of leadership in the area that I've been, having served as governor with experience to not take that step. And I didn't want to live a life of regret looking back saying, what if I could have made a difference? What if I did step up and serve again? And so with that, I just felt it was an act of obedience to what I felt the Lord was calling me to do, and here I am.
All right, absolutely fantastic, Nestor.
Thank you.
Okay, I got to ask though, because like I watch video these days, whether it's on TV, on YouTube, interviews of this nature, like with a different set of eyes, right? Because I'm thinking, okay, how much editing had to be done? Was it start, stop, or like a handler ran in, or like one of the governors adjusted their notes, or was it truly like an organic conversation and it felt like truly?
Well,
fluid?
what we tried to do is keep it within. We had a 25-minute time frame, and we tried to keep it within that 25-minute time frame so we could run it almost unedited. But it ran a little bit over, so maybe we edited for both camps about 2 minutes total. But otherwise, it's just a straight, organic running interview that just ran straight through.
That's beautiful. And of course, Governor Camacho and Governor Leon Guerrero, experienced business people, experienced policymakers. And during Nestor's special, which again, tonight, 7 p.m., it's going to be on TV8, on Facebook, and on YouTube. You also interviewed Josh Tenorio and Senator Toniata as well.
We have a shorter clips of them. But both Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio and Senator Toniata are also included in the program. So hope you guys watch.
All right. If politics is your thing, you're going to want to make sure to check that out. That is going to be really, really good tonight. Fine work, sir.
All right.
Okay, so obviously you're going to go cheer on your Raiders because you are dressed to the nines to support the silver and black. I don't have any Dolphins colors on, so unfortunately, I got to get adjusted with that. But tell you what, we are going to take a quick commercial break, and there's more Hotspot when we return after this.
All right, man.